What state has the highest tax burden? What state has the lowest tax burden? If you're wondering what state you may want to live in, we've got the data. We're going to talk about it next. Hey, this is Mel Stubbs. I'm a financial planner at Christy Capital Management, where we're helping federal employees and retirees plan for retirement, and taxes play a big part of it. So if you need individualized help, go to christycapital.com and click Talk to an Advisor. Today we're going over the tax burden by state. So WalletHub did a study and put out some information. And here's a link. You can go check out the article for yourself. But let's look at some of the tax burden stats by state. It's not just looking at what income tax rates are in a state, because there's more taxes than that. There's property taxes, there's individual income taxes, there's also total sales and excise taxes. For some of the key takeaways, New York has the highest overall tax burden when you factor in all of these things, while Alaska has the lowest. Here's the top 5 states with the highest tax burden, being New York, Hawaii, Vermont, Maine, and California. If you want to know the 5 best states with the lowest overall tax burdens, that would be Alaska, then New Hampshire, Wyoming, Florida, and then Tennessee. Plus, taking it a step further and look at property taxes. So this is just looking at property taxes as a percent of personal income. The highest property taxes are in Maine, Vermont, New Jersey, New Hampshire, and New York, while the lowest property taxes as a percentage of income would be Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana. If you look at individual tax rates as a percentage of income, the highest and therefore the worst would be California, New York, Oregon, Minnesota, and Maryland, while the lowest individual tax rates is Alaska, Florida, Nevada, South Dakota, Texas, Wyoming, and Washington, all tied for 44th because they don't have a personal income tax for the state. As far as total sales and excise tax, the worst state would be Washington State, Nevada, Hawaii, New Mexico, and Louisiana, while the lowest sales and excise taxes belong to New Hampshire, Delaware, Oregon, Montana, and Alaska. So in total tax burden, the worst is New York, who's got the highest out there, with residents paying around 12% of their income to state and local taxes, which include 4.6% in income taxes, 4.4% in property taxes, 3% in sales and excise tax. Alaska has the lowest tax burden as residents pay no income tax. They pay around 3.5% of their income in property taxes and 1.4% of income in total excise taxes to 4.9% total. Another interesting thing they found was looking at blue states versus red states. Now, states are deemed to be red or blue based on how they voted in the 2020 presidential election. Red states have lower tax burdens than blue states on average. Taxes make a big difference. There's also something that's not included in. It's like the cost of living. I'm sure the overall tax burden, with the highest being in New York and Hawaii, I imagine some of their cost of livings and cost of real estates and other things are also pretty high as well. When you look at some of the lower states like North Dakota and South Dakota that rank 43rd and 44th, probably have more affordable real estate, etc. That may make it even more attractive to live in those states, besides just the lower taxes. Taxes are key in retirement, especially if you're doing tax planning, by trying to shift traditional money to Roth. When you do a conversion, you have to pay income taxes, so some of the states that have the higher income taxes can make conversions more costly. If you're going to be moving to a state with a dramatically different tax rate than the one you're in now, and maybe it's dramatically better, it may make sense to hold off your conversions until you get to that lower state. It will all depend on your situation, so if you need help with this type of planning and you want us to help, go to christycapital.com, click Talk to an Advisor. We'd love to help you. Taxes are just one piece of the puzzle. Check out this video right here about why you won't spend it all in retirement. I know running out of money is probably the highest fear that people have, and so let's go over some of the data that shows you probably aren't going to run out, if you're a FERS retiree at least. My name is Mel Stubbs. Talk to you later.